Hey everyone, this is Sivo once again. Welcome back for another video and another discussion. By the way, Merry Christmas everyone. It's Christmas Eve here by us. Now I'm actually going to review which I just rewatched the film, and that's Surrogates with Bruce Willis. And I'll show you just the disc. Surrogates with Bruce Willis, which was released in 2009, and I did got this Blu-ray back in 2013. I have not seen this movie over 8 years, and that's been kind of really long. But rewatching this film, it's an okay film. By time from time it's boring, but it's a good one. Surrogates is a good movie set in a futuristic world, and actually, this movie was based on the comic book, which I didn't know. It was based the same name, 2005-2006 comic book series of the same name, which I never heard of it. But this is actually really for Bruce Willis, and this is not my top 10 or top 11 favorite Bruce Willis movies. I'll not say top 10 best films, no. But I thought it was how you call it, a more cheesy film. Not that cheesy, more I would say I would not call it a time waster because it's fast paced. I would just say an average film. I would say an average science fiction film directed by Jonathan Mostow, who directed the Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, and I did a review that movie. I saw it in movie theater in August 2003 when it came out, and he also directed U-751, I think was 751, U-751, and he also directed Breakdown with Kurt Russell, which I don't have that film, would really love to have someday that film, but Breakdown is a very good movie. But Surrogates kind of feels like iRobot, but with Will Smith. I actually prefer iRobot above this film. But it's actually, even though I'm kind of surprised. This movie looks like a cheap film, but the budget cost for this movie $80 million, which I'm really surprised with all the special effects and of course the CGI that they actually put in it, because this movie was released in September 25 in 2009 in the US and Canada. And I'm really surprised that it holds 6.1, because I don't think it's that good of a movie. I mean, it's not a bad movie. I would still say iRobot is much better. It's not a bad movie. Now, Surrogates talks about in the futuristic world, which is Bruce Willis is actually in a futuristic world, and there's this brilliant scientist. Lionel, I forgot his name. Lionel Cantor. He's actually creator, or he created those models, surrogates, which been called humanoid robotic remote control vehicles for the people who doesn't want to go in the real world, and he created them. So when the son of Lionel Cantor, a college student, gets murdered by an assassin. This actually triggers the murder mystery, and special agent FBI Tom Greer, played by Bruce Willis, and his partner Special Agent FBI Jennifer Peters, played by Radha Mitchell. They're investigating this murder, which turns out that was actually Cantor, the creator of the company of those robotic humanoid synthetic remote control vehicles for people, and because there was actually his son was murdered. FBI agent Tom Greer starts to investigate the murder, and it turns out that it actually all leads from Tom. So brings him to investigate that someone is actually murdering other vehicles with a very powerful weapon that a tech company designed. And more he investigates, he finds his man, and that's of course Miles Strickland, played by James Noseworthy. He's Miles Strickland. He was killing he was killing those synthetic remote control robotic circuits. Surrogates. He was killing them. He actually was the one. He was actually killing them, and more that Tom goes to the truth, more he finds out about this world. Also, he struggles with his life with his wife, played by Rosamund Pike. She plays Maggie Greer, his wife, and while he goes to investigate, he keeps continue investigating the murder, and he approaches and meets the director of the board, Cantor. He meets him, and more he finds out Cantor uses more other synthetic those robotic humanoids vehicles. And when Tom starts searching, he goes to this compound in which are only humans who are only living this future world. They're living humans, but they despise robots, and there's no allowed. And there was a scene when Strickland runs with a motorcycle, and he goes and kills like 4 cops, including another cop in a helicopter. You have a great chase scene, and the helicopter, almost the helicopter, of course, Bruce Willis goes offline, then goes online, and the helicopter crashes. His synthetic arm is cut to pieces. He goes to try to capture this guy, Miles Strickland, who's a murderer and assassin. He goes after him through this camp center, which was explosion. He broke the rule, the peace rule. He goes to this guy who's actually he's actually prophet. He's anti-surrogate religious leader, and he despises the robots, and he demands no robots in his campground center. But Tom Greer breaks the rule, breaks the peace offering, and he goes to try to find his man. But those assholes, they go and hits him, and there's this fat bitch. She goes, and shoots Tom right in the chest. What a bitch! She says you're an abomination. She goes and shoots him with a shotgun. I was so pissed. I was saying assholes, all assholes. They're all assholes. So now Tom's synthetic humanoid robotic remote control vehicle is destroyed, and because he lands in a hospital, he wakes up and he decides, because this investigation is over, he's suspended, his badge is taken away. So and the FBI doesn't want to give him his second remote control, so his second humanoid robotic surrogate. So now he decides to investigate the problem himself from support of his partner Jennifer Peters. And there's also a scene when a guy goes and kills Jennifer Peters, steals her surrogate, and all the leads, because there's a scene when you see Die, a robotic pig, which I was really pissed how could they do that in this film. And when Tom Greer approaches the prophet, and his men are start punching him and beating him, I thought that fucking sucked. But when he turns out more, Tom starts more investigating. He finds out that his wife, his synthetic wife, is on the pills, and she starts drugging herself. And he goes and kicks the guy she was frenzied to pieces. And he says that he wants the wife that he knew. And she said, "Oh, we're changed," and she leaves him. Or there's a scene when she's like a hairdresser or cosmetic hairdresser. He tries to talk to her, but she turns off. She goes offline. And I think that Rosamund Pike did a fine job, did a good job playing the wife. Winsor Hamis, he did on okay. And Radha Mitchell, she was also okay. So I think by the finale we found out that that actually the boss Andrew Stone, played by Boris Kodjoe, he was boss of Andrew Stone, of Peters and Greer. He was the one that hired to kill Linus, but he gave the weapon to Miles Strickland, and he accidentally Strickland killed his son because he didn't know. And against the partners, they wanted Linus Scanter out of it. They wanted him out of it. I don't know. They wanted to destroy his existence. And we also find out that Prophet, that Prophet, he was also a synthetic man and created by Linus Scanter, who pretend to be him. When the soldiers shoots him in the military school, they go and shoots him, and turns out it was actually synthetic surrogate. He wasn't a human, and he laid a human resistance, which was just stupid. I don't know. That was kind of ridiculous. I mean, that kind of why was the own inventor of those robots, he decides he was against it, why then he created them instead. That was kind of really stupid, kind of plot hole. But then because he finds out that Stone was behind it, because Strickland told him it was Stone before he killed him, and he wanted to destroy all the circuits, all the circuits he wanted to destroy, and Bruce Willis was the only one that can stop him, because he kills Agent Peter, steals her surrogate, and he tries now to kill everyone, like million people. And along with Bruce Willis goes, when the guy, the bodyguard, synthetic bodyguard, Sergei grabs Bruce Willis, he grabs his gun, shoots him, and he tries to stop Cantor, but Cantor is online. He tries to destroy now. Cantor is online. He tries to destroy everyone who's now in those humanoids vehicles, and he kills himself. And Bruce Willis goes now, tries to stop and save everyone, which he does. He saves the universe, he saves everyone once again. I just love that. He saves everyone. He was awesome. He saves everyone. But when the guy who was tied tells him to push yes, so that all vehicles all surrogates will be saved, he punches no, which he destroys all surrogates, so that he brings the people now back. They don't need, because he finds out he wants his wife, and he knows that they don't need, those surrogates. They can leave them on us. And I just respect that. And I think that Bruce Willis did a fine job, he did a fine job as FBI agent Tom Greer, then later gets suspended. I thought he did a fine job. Rosamund Pike, She was in Die Another Day in James Bond, and she was in that movie Gone with Ben Affleck. That movie, I refused to buy the Blu-ray because it's so expensive that time. With Ben Affleck, she was in that movie. But Rosamund Pike as Maggie Greer, the wife Bruce Willis, did a good job. And of course, I do like Radha Mitchell. She was in Riddick, and she was also in this movie as Jennifer, Agent Peters. She did a fine job. She did a great job. The cast was awesome. Also, James Cromwell was the inventor, Cantor. He actually was the creator of Surrogates. He was also in Eraser when he killed himself. He was in Eraser by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he kills himself. He killed himself that time. In this movie, he also gets killed. So James Cromwell did a great job as the villain. Boris Kojo was okay as boss. Andrew Stone, Winger Hames as anti-surrogate religious leader prophet was also okay. The budget for this movie really cost $80 million, but made worldwide $122.444.772 million. And it's only 1 hour 29 minutes, so that's a really good one. 1 hour 29 minutes is not that long. But it's kind of boring from time to time, kind of seems boring. But I'll just say Surrogates is an average film. It's not a bad film, it's an average film. Bruce Willis did a fine job. It was based on a comic book series. I never heard of it with the same name. And I know this movie was PG-13. But for the action sequences are still good ones, like when Bruce Willis, he's on this helicopter. He's actually in this human in his surrogate, his remote control vehicle. He's in the helicopter, and when Strickland grabs the weapon and kills and fries, the eyes, he fries those two. He fries the pilot, and Bruce Willis, he goes offline, then he goes online, but he's late. The helicopter crashes and there's explosion. I like that scene. It's a really good one. Like when they open it, when the guy keeps killing, when he kills that kid, you see like the kid's eyes get fried and the other one gets fried. But still I like this film. I forgot to mention, yes, I like this film. I'll say an average film, but I prefer iRobot about this film with Will Smith, which is much better film. But still, I like this film. It has a few special features. I didn't watch them, but I'm glad it's not 2 hours long. That's what I respect. Jonathan Mostow did a fine job directing this film, so I respect it's not 2 hours long. So thank God. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish right here. Merry Christmas to everyone. This is my review on Surrogates 2009, which was released in September 25, US and Canada. I hope you like this film. This is also a science fiction futuristic film, and I hope you liked it. It's not that big film, even though it has a large budget. I still think it's mostly it's not that bad, and it isn't that much corny because it's 1 hour 28 minutes long, so that's something. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Have a great Christmas evening, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next new video. I'm out. Take care now, and peace, and bye bye.